1 year ago, everything changed.
1 week before we, the students of Kamehameha, were going to celebrate the 100th annual song contest with a jubilee of Aloha Aina-inspired mele and hula, the pandemic brought everything to an unceremonious halt.
Our emotions mirrored what the entire world was feeling: confusion, anger, and fear.
But much can be learned over the course of a year. In that time, confusion turned into clarity about what is truly important.
Anger became resolve to honor our lahui and our aina, no matter what obstacles are in our way.
And fear turned into hope. Hope that once we come out on the other side of this, we'll better understand our kuleana to our ohana, our community, and to Hawaii.
So this year, we will be unshaken, so that our people can feel that hope, so that Aloha Aina will persevere. I mau ki Aloha Aina.
Aloha and good evening. I'm Mahealani Richardson. Hawaii News Now is proud to present the 101st annual Kamehameha Schools Song Contest, brought to you in an all-new format for 2021. While it's still called Song Contest, there won't be any competition. Instead, you'll be joining the students of Kamehameha Schools for a unique musical collaboration and celebration of culture. Mahalo for joining us and enjoy the program.
Mahina o pawahio punui kawai akalihilihi pua ula ula lo ke lani. Lani nui leiai kaloko kamaile maile hope uhane o koiai kalai. Lai wali koru laia ke a kamalu mehameha. Miha o luna, miha o lalo I kamala pua moha ha he keiki. Oia vehi mai oi kala vela haina o ke ola. Ola oe. Hino e kaponi ula pawahilani e.
Aloha kako. Welcome to a special presentation of the 101st annual Kamehameha Schools Song Contest. O wau o Justly Pavao, no kalaheo ko imayo a he haumana ke ia o ka papa umi kumamalua ma ke kula o Kamehameha ma ka pālama. Tonight, we are sharing Song Contest reimagined for this current moment in time, a spectacle of mele, mo'olelo, hula, and ho'oilina. This year is not a competition as we've known it. Rather, it is a journey across the Pai'aina of Hawaii, a journey rooted in Aloha Aina. With me now to help navigate this journey is fellow senior La'akea Awang. Aloha.
Aloha noe Jesli. Aloha nui kako. O wau o La'akea Awang, no he e ia mai au, a he haumana ke ia o ka papa umikumamalua ma ke kula o Kamehameha ma ka pālama. Ke aloha aina ya kako. It's been a challenging year for all, yet within our lahui community, we've seen glimmers of hope that remind us not to lose sight of what is truly important. As oiwi of this aina and as citizens of this planet, I mau ke aloha aina, so that aloha aina perseveres.
The theme Imau Ke Aloha Aina was always meant to be something extra special, and it began nearly 2 years ago. As if coordinating 1,800 high school students to perform Hawaiian choral music for a global audience wasn't enough, our unique approach took this particular song contest to the next level and challenged us as students to join in the creative process and author our own role in our lahui's history.
Each mele is a brand new composition crafted by our own students who worked with respected hakumele to commemorate the important stories for our lahui today. We started with a simple question: what are the songs our people will sing 100 years from now? Tonight, we'll hear the answer to that question.
E ia ho, I nā hoi hoi ia oi e nā I ka ho'okūkū mele ma ka ōlelo Hawaii, e ho'olele ia ana ma o ke koho ho'okani ʻelua. O ko kākou mau hoa ho'okipa ōlelo Hawaii, o ia no o kumu melelani peng lawa o kumu lilinoi ka aha nui. Hui e nā kumu. Aloha.
Ai, mahalo nui ia oi ka pulele hua.
Ano ai me ke aloha e na hoa maka ōlelo Hawaii mai oa o ko Hawaii pai aina. E ia no māua o mele a me lilinoi.
Mahalo nui ia oi kumu mele. Aloha mai kākou e nā pua a Pauahi. E olu olu, e ho'onānea pū kākou.
Welcome back to the 101st Annual Kamehameha School Song Contest. As is our tradition, we begin the festivities by singing Ho'onani I Kamakua Mau. This is one of the moments when our entire student body unites in song, including members of our freshman class.
Before we kick off tonight's student performances, we must first take a moment to recognize last year's seniors, the class of 2020, who blazed this reimagined trail by being the first Kamehameha class to ever host a virtual song contest. Their Holomua spirit taught us all that it is in our DNA to overcome, and we can do so in style. Here, for the first time on broadcast television, is a look back at the mele of the class of 2020.
Mahalo Aloha
We've seen what can happen with a little bit of imagination and a lot of motivation. Tonight, we'll also be shining a spotlight on the events and people that inspired these stories to connect these performances with the real-life experiences of today. For without them, these mele would be nothing more than notes on a music sheet. Eia no na mele aloha aina.
Water, both fundamental and fearsome at once. It creates, it cleanses, it restores, it consumes. As we, the junior men and women of the class of 2022, sing our two mele, we commemorate the salt ponds of Hanapepe and the floods of Hanalei to find inspiration in this basic element, its fluidity and its ferocity. We will carve out the story of our lahui just as water etches a new path for life to continue. Our words and melodies will flow.
One year ago today, Kauai woke up to a devastated landscape after a U.S. record of nearly 50 inches of rain fell in 24 hours.
The district of Halelea is bountiful in water, in lush valleys, high cliffs, beautiful white sand beaches. It's the paradise that a lot of us envision as the most beautiful place on earth. And with that beauty comes responsibility. Hanalei itself is known for its rain. Because there's a lot of rivers and streams, flooding is the thing that happens.
It was truly like a blessing that the school chose to honor what happened and what the people went through, because when I saw that there was an opportunity that I can honor my home and my family and the stories about this land, I was so excited.
Several students who are from Kauai, and two of them were from Halelea district, and they had firsthand information of how the flood had affected their places.
Well, during that time, nobody was really going around with cars and trucks because the roads were so wet and all the landslides that happened. So my dad was going on this little mule and driving people back and forth. Auntie Kainani, she gave this saying, "Lu'ulu'u Hanalei iko wanui." Like, it means Hanalei is burdened by the rain, but also it's a showing of grief or affection to someone else. There's always multiple perspectives to everything in life, and it was at that moment when the group realized, like, oh, this wasn't just a flood, it was a healing process for the community as well, because it also brought all the people together.
The Halelea communities, they're really working hard to restore their place, and they're engaging more with the government to say, this is what we want and this is what we don't want. You should listen to our voice because we know what we're talking about. We live here every day. The restoration that is happening in the ocean, in the valleys, on the land, it's also happening in the people as well.
We get so caught up in the modern life that sometimes you kind of drift away from the people that are near to you, and you forget what your kuleana is to your aina or to your family.
After the flooding happened, about a week or two later, I was able to go into that restricted area, and I was able to see what Halelea looked like in healing mode.
During the healing process, the limu was abundant. All the fish, there's piles of fish in the bays. All the forests were all clean. There was no trash anywhere on the beach, no one on the roads, and the land was at ease.
It was so refreshing to hear the reports of the healing, the restoration. Up until then, the stories usually went the other way. Oh, no more this anymore. It's all gone. Too many people, too much sunscreen, all those kinds of issues. And then in the healing of the land, we can really see who's in charge. It's the land, and the community will adjust in the way they have to.
Auntie Kainani taught us that Aina and Mele are of equal importance because in the past, without a written language, Mele is how everything survived through hula oli. It was the Mele that kept the stories alive, the place names, the rain names, the wind names, everything.
Those are the very resources that show us the connection between the Kanaka and the land. And so when we create as contemporary haku mele, we have to hold those values in high regard as well. We have to perform the mele. We have to teach the songs. If it's only to keep in the book or on the paper, it will not live. It has to live through the practice of singing, the practice of chanting, the practice of hula. I feel so privileged to be able to work with young Hawaiian students, young Hawaiians who have the fire in them to be a part of their community, to be a part of making music, to be a part of learning how to compose mele Hawaii.
This isn't something that's just like we're just doing for song contests. We're doing this for the lahui. The kids of Hawaii will be watching this, and then they'll find out why this song was created and for what reason was this story shared. And as a class, that's really what I'm hoping that they'll gain from this experience.
One of the first things I told them was, well, we're going to create something that your grandchildren will be researching, and that your grandchildren will be singing, and that your grandchildren will be very proud to know of your participation in this process.
This mele is bigger than us. It's going to last longer than our lifetime. So this is a really big kuleana on our shoulders.
Na Kia Aloha Aina o Waimaka o Hi'iaka is a song about Hanapepe salt beds, about the preservation of this Native Hawaiian practice, and to show the flavor of Hanapepe to our lahui. As a hui, we all chose Hanapepe salt beds, and for a couple of weeks, 2 days out of the week, we met over Zoom with Auntie Malia Nobrega about the harvesting process, and we all gathered information, we did our own research. We did the most to try and connect with her, and our other advisor was Uncle Rani from the PRC. And then we had one whole day dedicated to the songwriting process, so it was 1 day of writing a song. Ra'iatea Helm was there to help us too, as well as Kumulika. And we all just got together, we huied up, and we brought everything to the table to write Na Kia Aloha Aina Waimaka o Hi'iaka. On the day that we did the songwriting process, we were downstairs in one of the band rooms, and Auntie Malia had brought pictures of the process and she hung them up on the wall. And so just being able to see how it works out and seeing Auntie Malia's her ano and her passion, it was just really special because we all knew how passionate she was about it. So that motivated us to bring out the best of this song.
The salt ponds here on Kauai is the last of its kind. The salt-making tradition here on Kauai is being threatened by many things. One of the things is, if you see right behind me, what normally would be the start of our dry seasons and moving into those dry seasons, we wouldn't normally see the vai that's existing here behind me. It would actually be starting to dry up. In the next month or two, we would normally be able to come in and practice. With climate change, things are different. You've probably also heard about some of the development here in the area with Port Allen Airport and the increase of companies like helicopters and skydiving companies. Our ohana and our community have come out very strong in saying that we don't need this in our community. It has no give back to our people, to our lahui, to our aina.
If we were to lose the salt beds, that would put a tear in my heart a little because I grew up going to that beach. I grew up and I helped out with that cultural practice, and I know families personally. If it were to stop, there's no makana that you can give from Kauai. There's no other representation of West Kauai. The salt beds really bring people together. If you see the Safe Pa'akai ohana and all the ohana and the genealogical ties to that aina, it's so special. Everyone is so passionate. And I feel that if we were to lose that, we would lose a part of West Kauai.
In the mele, you'll hear references to the opai ula. You'll hear references to the lo'i, to the waiku, to the puna. And these are just some of the components that makes it special and makes it ono, because the vai of this aina is ono. Just like how we hear about the makani, named vai ono. The practice of making pa'akai serves a very important role in our culture, in our society. And for us, it's also a medicinal. It's something that is shared and used to ho'ola, to bring to life. And that's, just again, it's a blessing for us to be able to share this makana. And that's another thing you'll hear a reference to in our mele, is this gift that we are given from the aina, from our kupuna, and something that we will continue to kupa'a as kia'i o ka aina, so that we can pay it forward for the generations to come.
memory. When we recall our past, we are fortifying our pathways for our future. When we know our history, we discover our destiny. In our final song contest, we, the senior men and women of the class of 2021, share 2 mele commemorating Hokulea and Kalaupapa. These mele skip like a stone across the ocean's surface, traveling through time and place, turning memories into mana'o for the next 100 years. By joining our voices as one, we remember in harmony.
Hokulea has always been a part of my life. I was born the same year the Hokulea was put in the water, back in '76, where it had a resurgence of new songs being created at that time. That's important that we continue to write songs now, and brand new songs, because hakumele is key to preserving all of this kind of knowledge.
There was this cohort meeting about the 100th song contest being that students in this school would be able to write songs. From there, they would split everybody up who signed up into 10 different groups. So I chose Va'a lessons, learning about the life lessons you would learn on a Va'a.
The same lessons that we preach now, but on the canoe, it's a microcosm, right? It's an island. That's our island. He wa'a he moku, he moku he wa'a.
He wa'a he moku, he moku he wa'a, meaning that your wa'a is your land and your land is your canoe.
We often use the word think wa'a, think canoe. So when things get really tough and you're not sure what to do, it's like think canoe, like what is your next step?
So there's 4 lessons we wanted to share in the mele. One being of obtaining information from those before you. The second one being preparing yourself for like this kind of voyage you're gonna go on. And 3 is the actual voyage. And then 4 is with the knowledge you obtain, how are you gonna share with others?
I'm blessed to have been taught by Papa Mao Piailug, and he would always share with us that the ocean does not divide us. It actually bridges us together. It's the highway. We have to be mindful that the ocean carries all the things that we use. What you put in the ocean goes to them. What they put in the ocean comes to us. And so the responsibility of knowing all of that, truly, malama honua, and taking care of our land base, takes care of the world.
When we first met our kumukuanune, it was like a start of a friendship. Like her experiences on the boat with Papa Mao. You don't find a whole bunch of people with those kind of experiences of being on the Va'a with Papa Mao. And it's just a wonderful experience to get this knowledge from her that you won't get from anybody else.
The preparation of a voyage, right, is to work on the canoe so that you understand how the canoe works. And just like this mele, we did a little bit research because they're really young. So they, Hokulea seems so long ago for them.
10 to 15 people in one group, all with the same idea, all with the same goal, coming together to make this mele for song contest.
We had the song director, we had Seth with us, and I always put him in charge. And I said, okay, you're the one, you got to tell them what to do.
Being alaka'i was one, having the responsibilities of having everyone together, everybody prepared for one meeting. We would have to prepare the group for places we would go to. For us, we went on a huaka'i.
It's the best classroom because it's real. And when you're on a sailing canoe in particular, right, the canoe cannot move forward. Like the canoe can go around in a circle. And I told them that, I said, sometimes writing a song is like going around in a circle. You can put the paddle in all you want, but where are we going? So it's very important for them to take charge and to own it yeah, to own that kind of experience. And that was good for Seth. I think he had to rise up and be that person.
Putting yourself in that perspective of being on the va'a was really, really helpful. Of see all the things that they've seen in that place we were at. That was the birth of the first va'as that were made. So being there kind of helped us realize that this is going to be like the birth of our mele, or our own type of va'a.
Another important aspect for me with the cohort was to bring somebody that I felt could share more than I could. So I invited Chad Paishan to come, and he's a po navigator. He sailed on Hokulea, Hawaii Iloa, Makali'i, and many of our canoes. While we're out at Hakipu'u, we're blessed to interact with a charter school, Malamahonua Charter School. It's based out in Wamanalo. Their school was partly founded with Nainoa. And it's really based around voyaging and Hawaiian voyaging.
So it was really amazing to see that younger kids than us, they're there learning the things that we're trying to learn. And this movement of Hawaiian is just going.
For them, I said, this is just a prep work. This is the preparation for your voyage. And the voyage will actually be when you sing it, right? Like when you actually execute it and you're gonna sing it at song contest, that's gonna be the voyage. And let's see, can you see the island at the end?
You don't realize how big it is until you kind of like showed the class. It was kind of eye-opening that so much people love the song and love the music video that came out. Now it's this big thing where students are singing the song, singing the arrangement of the song, and now it's gonna be shown on like song contests, which is pretty amazing how this small idea just comes into this big picture.
So we feel it being a real honor that we continue the legacy of voyaging in modern day Hawaii, because we know that it was from the wā kahiko.
At first, you don't think that you can do anything because you're a student, but coming together with other students, creating this song, you learn that there's so much things you can actually do as a student, and holding that kind of with you throughout your whole life, you create this responsibility of knowing that you can do anything.
is said that almost everybody who's native Hawaiian today can probably in their mo'okuahau find somebody in their ohana that was sent to Kalaupapa.
To talk about that history, and you know, it's the history that we all know about. It's a really sad history, families being torn apart, you know, having to come and jump off the boat and swim.
And you're put on this peninsula with huge cliffs that you cannot climb and an ocean separating you from the rest of the world. History views Kalaupapa as a place of death and a place of suffering. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It is a place of suffering. However, Hawaiians believe in a pa'alua, in the duality of it. So where there's death, there's also life.
You know, it was sad, but Kalaupapa was welcoming them into, you know,
welcoming them to their new home. Kind of that transition from, you know, this dark, sad history into now living here and building this community and changing it really into something beautiful. Just to be able to be a part of this process was a real honor for us. Our connection to Kalaupapa, that's where our grandparents met.
Being a haumana in that cohort was very eye-opening, but actually researching and looking at letters written by actual residents there, it deepened my understanding of Aloha Aina, and it deepened my connection to Molokai. It's kind of like a chain, but not a bad chain where you're imprisoned, but it's kind of like grounding you and rooting you to your Aina. You know, when Kalaupapa, when the last patients pass away, the DOH, the Department of Health, is gonna give the land to the national parks. And what are you gonna do when the national parks take over? And to me, it's not up to one person, it's up to the Lahui, and that's what this is about, is to get people interested. So this mele is a way for us to show the people of Kalaupapa that they're remembered and that they will never be forgotten.
revival. In times of hulihia, when things are overturned, we experience cycles of complete change, loss, restoration, growth. This rhythm of life in our natural world mirrors the ongoing journey of our people. All the evolutions of our Aina reflect all the evolutions of our Lahui, ever-changing, always growing. As the sophomore, junior, and senior classes each unite to sing their mele about contemporary changes we face with life, loss, and revival, we highlight our enduring spirit of renewal. E ola mau.
The topics were already given to us by the kumu, and signing up for it, it meant that you had to list your various knowledge in like mele or lala Hawaii, and you chose your top 3. And what the kumu wanted was some sort of connection with the students into their topics. Kumu Pueopata was like this big open book of knowledge, and for me, he was the first person to say that making this mele and making this mele good is more than just like having words and having this melody. There's a specific process to do it.
Hawaiian music is in a new stage once again, where the lyrics are important, the form of composition is important, and it's not just based on hula ability or a catchy tune, although those do play into it. But I know that with these students that I worked with at least, I have great confidence that they're going to be able to carry on the lyrical types of traditions that we've inherited from our kupuna. So the theme is Aloha Aina. When I was a student in hula, one of the kupuna, Auntie Diane, said to us, "Oh, what does aloha mean?" It's obviously beyond hello, goodbye, and love. They all got a chance to see that aloha is a concept. It doesn't have just one easy definition, but the concept is surrounding empathy and sympathy. You might have pride of land or pride of birthplace, but from a Hawaiian point of view, Aloha Aina centers not on governance, but on Aina. It centers on land, and that aloha means that you not only have love for the land, but you have empathy and sympathy for the land and everything that it provides for you and everything that you do to it. Water is supposed to be a public trust, and so the governing entities are supposed to maintain that trust. Through the late 1800s, early 1900s, there were so many court cases that actually put water into private interests' hands. In doing so, it left the public trust. It no longer is for the benefit of the public, it only benefits a few. You have contested cases in California and these very aggressive lawyers who defend those cases for the privatization of waters. Those lawyers are now becoming players in Hawaii's water issues, and they're fighting for the privatization of water. So the Ahupua'a system is actually a land management system based upon water resource. Freshwater affects the ocean line, it affects the limu, it affects the type of fish that are around there. It affects the entire environment that Hawaiians depend upon. And so to restore water rights is a way for us to restore environmental health. With environmental health, we can return back to certain ways which would give us a type of food sovereignty. They're all interconnected, I should say. And it all is based on wai, and it's all based on the water cycle, a healthy water cycle. Traditionally, there was a form of water diversion in the form of auwai. The vast majority of that water, when it left the stream bed, went through the agricultural system and was fed back into the stream bed. The types of water diversions that started with sugarcane times was to remove the entirety of water from a stream, move it completely away from that ahupua'a, completely out of that moku in some cases, into a different community where the water did not make its way back into the stream or even into the ocean after that. Today, in upcountry, the water comes from Ko'olau side. Some of the streams have been restored, but a lot of them do not have connectivity. In the Nawai'iha area as well, we have like the Kama'auwai system, the Kalani'auwai system. Those are traditional systems that were there to feed the lo'i of commoners and the ali'i. But when Spreckles came in and started diverting water from Waihe'e all the way out into the plains of Kama'oma'o and other places, that's a complete disruption of the water cycle. In the traditional sense, there was a small diversion, but not an obstruction of water. And now you have complete obstruction and the water is taken to a completely different ahupua, completely different district, and it never makes its way back to the ocean.
I think for our cohort, it was more of this idea that unity can bring change, and that water diversion doesn't only affect like the land, but it affects the people. We've seen the decline of water in Maui and how it affects the community and affects the Hawaiians there.
Our song speaks of the importance of water in this situation and in Kanaka Maoli way of life.
The political landscape has changed, the legal landscape is changing, but because we are raising our children to be extremely vigilant and educated in our traditional ways, they are the ones that we have to further equip to be ready to fight for these rights.
He ni nau, e ui aku anau ia oe, aya I hea ka vai a kāne. Aya I panikina ka la, puka I hae hae, aya I laila ka vai a kāne. E ui aku anau ia oe, aya I hea ka vai a kāne. Aya I ka lana ka la, I ka pai o pua I ke kai. E a mai ana mani hoa, makamare mai o le hua, aya I laila ka vai a kāne. E ui aku anau ia oe, aya I hea ka vai a kāne. Aya I ke koe hiwi, I ke kolono, I ke awawa, I ke kahawai. Aya I laila ka vai a kāne. forever. Aya ilaila kawayakane. Ewi akwana ya oi aya ilea kawayakane. Aya iluna kawayakane. Ike auli, ike au ele ele, ike au pana pana, ike au po polo hua mea kane lae. Aya ilaila kawayakane. Ewi akwana ya oi aya ihea kawayakane. Aya ilolo, kamonua, kawai hu, kawai kawakane me kanalo. Kawai kuna, kawai inu, kawai mana, kawai ona, e ona no ea.
I was at May Day for Waika High School. And then when that huge earthquake happened and they're like magma's coming out, like lava is out and it's on the road, it's coming through people's houses, you know, there's mass evacuations from certain areas. As I'm watching a lot of the feeds, you're hearing a lot of the things that we chat about and dance about in our Pele chants and our dances. You have the wallow coming through the forest with all of that cracking sound and the thundering from the eruption. There's flows coming through in Rampart. A couple of weeks later, you're looking at hotter Pahoy Hoy flowing like rivers. And so for me, it was being able to see a lot of our chants being brought back, or actually being able to see them vividly. When I was approached to work with the students, one of the things that I wanted them to look at, since they wanted to talk about Fissure 8 and the eruption that just had happened the other year, I kind of wanted them to get a little bit more familiar with the landscape. That was hugely important for me.
It was special to me, especially because it is from my home. I have family down that side of the island. I feel that part of being a Hawaiian, it is my kuleana to be a part of this moment in history where we're taking events that are happening today and turning it into mele so that future generations can know what was happening when we were here.
One of the Hakmele's function or roles in society is to document the era and to put out things that are relevant to us now. So I appreciated that about this particular song contest.
Okay, meeting Kumu Manaya Kalani was just amazing. That's all I really have to say. On every topic that we would bring up, he would have a mo'olelo for it and explain it to us. Just how he made the space so comfortable, so where we wanted to share and to give to the mele.
I definitely see a shift in the students that are coming out, or the younger generations that are coming out. They have a lot more experiences that are conscious, that gives them that connection. That connection to Aina it's pulling harder, I think, now on the generations that we have.
I feel that it strengthened my concept and belief of Aloha Aina, because for me, it's automatic that you should just take care of your land. You were blessed with it, so why would you not take care of it?
How do we steward it? How do we take care of it and make sure that it's reciprocal, that we're taking as much care of the Aina as much as it's taking care of us?
Yeah, it's a simple respect thing that our kupuna had for their land. They knew that the land provided for them. We didn't have Costco or anything like that. They were dependent on the land and the ocean for food to live. One of the main ideas and themes that we have is how the Aina is still there, and there's also new land that is created, so with the eruption. There's a cycle.
The perspective on how people were looking at it and how people were affected by it were very vast and quite different. Some people were like, we need to get rid of the flow, do something to stop it. And then you look at a lot of the local families, or the people that have lived there for generations, are all cleaning their yards, cleaning the house, and they're like, if the tutu comes to take the house, at least the house clean.
Well, being a hula dancer, we learn about pele and mele, and it gives a new perspective on the whole idea of just Aina and how the pele creates new Aina. Our ancestors knew like that land wasn't an object, so they took care of it and they loved it so much that they would give names to it, because having a name is important. That's who you are and what you are.
We get a little sad sometimes when a lot of the names get lost to estates or subdivisions. For instance, Kahialaka and Leilani, right? If they start to do Leilani estates and they're like, where's the Leilani? You can't find it on an old Ahupua'a map from the 1900s because Leilani didn't exist. It was a tourist grab.
So we wanted to make sure that we put all the names of the places that aren't there anymore and the places that are there now, because we didn't hold it in the mele. People won't know those place names in another 100 years or so.
I think it's a beautiful thing for Haumana at this song like this. I think it's really important that they're taking a step into the actual composition process. I don't think that in previous years, the school as a whole or the Haumana as a whole were ready for something like this. I think we're finally at a place that we can, that our students, they have the desire to do it. They have the drive to do it.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Oh my gosh. And to just be a part of it, it just really means a lot.
My name is Makakua Inaba. I am a graduate of the class of 2020 from the Kamehameha Schools Kapalama. I have been involved with Ku'umahalehua, the co-ed of the senior now, class of 2021. Rod is rapid ohia death. It is a fungus that grows within the trunk of the tree. Rod was first found on Hawaii Island, Mokuokeawe, and it has affected more than 175,000 acres of land with rapid ohia death. Ohia lehua is one of the most important plant species, flower in the Hawaiian culture. The flower itself, that red, that yellow, that orange, is such a vibrant color. Not only does it share the beauty and it shares the stories from past, but it also is a way for us, like we're doing now, to write new mele. Working with Kumu Kapalai'ula de Silva was such an amazing experience.
Just like Nohoana Ika, Nohoana.
I was so honored to be in her presence and to just receive the knowledge of which she shared.
And the whole
Everybody has a different kuleana in this lahui to aloha aina. Right now, our kuleana is mele and hula. That is our way of aloha aina. Aloha aina also to me is going outside and working on the land and the actual physical part of it. But I believe that the physical is just as important as the mele and other aspects of aloha aina. Right now, the ohia lehua is having a hard time in the forest, and it is a way for us to bring in awareness to what we can do as a lahui to stop it. With some things that people can do for rapid ohia death, it's now known that it is tracked through mud, dirt, and mulch. So when you're in the forest or you take your trucks, you make sure that you spray your tires, cleaning your footwear, and all those types of things. We're always taught that you never ever take more than what you need. So if you're picking lehua for a lei, if you're picking any type, if you're picking palapala, if you're picking from this tree, you only pick what you need. And when you go to that place, you go to that place with the right intention and the right mindset. This is just throughout our whole culture as Kanaka Hawaii, is that you go someplace and you ask permission, and you go in there with the right intention, and everything will work out just as it is.
Kamehameha Schools presents Ke Kau Hea Hea a Hi'iaka. It is the story of the world through the lens of our youth. Our students and families of Hawaii, the Pacific, and the world recognize that the earth is an island in the vastness of the universe. We recognize that our resources are finite and that we must do all that we can to inspire positive change for our diverse environments and the world.
Baker, take one. Marker.
For all Kamehameha students, Ho'ike and Song Contest has always been a big tradition that we look forward to. And each year with Ho'ike, we get to share different topics and different stories that are relevant to our times.
We imagined a Ho'ike where, we took the same story that we would have shared in the Neil Blaisdell Center, and now we were able to take it out of the box, take it out of that venue, but then take them into the spaces that we imagined as we created the mele.
Last year, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to incorporate all of the natural environment that we have around us, and being able to be a part and literally dance in the ocean is just a greater connection that anyone could ever experience.
As dancers, our role in this mele was to portray atolls that are going under the water. Eventually, if we do not take care of the land, that is what will happen with climate change.
Filming on location has allowed us to reach out into our communities and showcase the different parts of our island and how we are all responsible for these movements of Aloha Aina.
For this year's Ho'ike, we embodied the emotional relationship portrayed between Kanaka and Aina, telling the impactful stories of the greater world around us in the best way we know how, through the art of hula, using the effects of makeup, costumes, adornments, and natural elements to elevate the meaning behind the evolution of our story.
This year's Ho'ike, the character that I'm portraying is a businessman, and this is symbolic of how lust for money is taking us into a direction that isn't sustainable, especially for us here in Hawaii.
The color choices were also influenced by Hi'iaka's role as healer. The blushes are also to tie her back into her pele ohana.
For us in Hawaii, when we think of natural devastation, one of those elements is volcanism. It is the fiery heat that creates lava and flows down from the mountaintops and takes away everything, really sterilizes the earth from Mauka to Makai. For us, Hi'iaka is the hope, she's the seed that comes after, and she's what brings everything back to life. And so when we were creating, we're seeing the hope that Hi'iaka represents, as an ancestor to the people of Hawaii.
Last year, I was given this wonderful opportunity to play the role of Haumea. And this year, I'm so fortunate to be invited back to play Haumea once again for this new Ho'ike production. I think of this Ho'ike as something to inspire us and future generations to be careful of what we are doing and to be careful of our actions. It's time to give back to the land.
You know, when we look at our students and when we listen to what they say and when we watch what they do, those things are telling us that they have deep roots in Aloha Aina, that they have strong feelings for the earth. We know that they are looking at the world as an inheritance that they are coming to, and that they are realizing that the future is something to think about, to worry about, but yet that they have a voice in, they have a stake and they have a voice.
I know you are wondering, how did we get here? The raging fires, the swollen ocean, the erratic storms, and the sickness. Let me help you remember. Let's start from the beginning. Ake kuahivi, ake kualono. From the mountaintops to the forests, from the plains to the sea, the fullness of heaven and the earth exists in a delicate balance. The earth is a force that creates life in our islands. Her story is told in every land. O Haumea Kawahine Iwai. In Hawaii, her name is Haumea. Haumea, companion of Kane, Wakea, and Kanaloa, gods of life, sky, and sea. Haumea, womanhood, born into every generation of Wahine. Haumea, mother and midwife. The one who knows the diversity of life that thrives on every expanse of Aina.
Ake kuahivi, ake kualono, ake kula i te poli o laumi. Miha ka lani, miha ka honua. O haumea kino pahamoha. O haumea kino papale. Imano mano ka lehu lehu. Ona kino o haumea.
I am Hi'iaka Ikopolio Pele, born to Haumea in the form of an egg. I am a healer, a sustainer of the life force of Haumea's creation.
Mano mano ka lehu lehu ona kino o haumea. I kupu ke ai te tumo I laua puka kamu o ka liko ka au I lunai. Ka kupu ka au ona mau makali o makalei la au kaulana mai ka po mai ta po mai ta oi ai o I o I luna.
I am the youngest sibling of Pele Honua Mea. After Pele erupts, I bring forth the first sprouts from the earth. I bring healing and reforestation.
I laua puka kamu o ka liko ka au I lunai. Ona mau makali
Land changes. It transforms and evolves naturally over time. This cycle of renewal maintains the careful balance of life. From this cycle of creation, humankind, Kanaka, is born. Bound to everything in the world around them, Kanaka understand the deep connection they have to their environment. It is their responsibility, their obligation, to maintain these cycles of balance. All is working in balance and harmony. All is Pono. With each passing generation, humankind proliferates, creating a demand for more. More space to build permanent structures, more food produced in ways that harm the environment and human health, more unclean energy causing heat and fire to spread across the landscape, clearing forests of their life-giving properties. By human hands, the world is being changed in ways I have not seen before. Accelerating at an alarming rate. The burning of fossil fuels emits gases and chemicals into the air, trapping the Earth's heat and raising its temperature to dangerous levels. This threatens all life on the planet. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions have raised the Earth's temperature, causing ancient sheets of ice to rapidly melt into the oceans. I am reminded of my aunt, snow goddess Poli'ahu, whose icy cloak atop Mauna Kea feeds and nourishes the island of Hawaii. Like glaciers around the world, it is melting away. As sea levels rise, warmer waters threaten marine life, and a major food source for humanity diminishes. Half the coral in the Great Barrier Reef has died, and the swirling garbage patch called the Pacific Gyre now weighs over 87,000 tons and has more than 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic. Sadly, parts of Kiribati and Tuvalu are already underwater, and parts of the Marshall Islands may be underwater by 2035.
Hole ia ka hua o Mauna Kea ma ihi ka pahau ia i ka nui a helo ke haui aina o ma o piha kana roa o piha piha ke kai e popo ia kula ke kai e popo ia kula i kana roa Kamehameha ke kai I tua luala ke kai nei I tua korula ke kai ala o piha kana roa o piha piha ke kai e popo ia kula he kai e popo ia kula I kana roa Kaiha ave ke kua o pele huli hola ke kai kahi ka honua te amola ke kai amo ki laue o piha kana
Earth's rising temperature creates more atmospheric disturbance. Pi'ia ela kaiki ki kapali. The instability of temperatures causes the ocean vapor of the sea god Kanaloa to rise in columns, building energy and generating hurricanes, typhoons, and monsoons. These storms are lasting longer, getting more intense, and threatening the world's coastal communities. As the storms approach, Earth's creatures flee for shelter. Humankind sounds the alarm, desperate to protect its investments. Yet, they are still blinded from the truth. They have brought this destruction upon themselves.
Makani, kani kamaka ino ka opua apua o kane ka vela vela ye wo wo hili kamakani hilo I ka ua pu e hua e lai ka lima o kanaloa Haki ka kalana ale I ka ino Hai ka mimilo ka a ke koi Aku koi ka marihini ka I pu o Tolo no mai la ka pire o nā manue Yeah Whoa, whoa Ka aga po e roha hao ana I ka hune holo holo I huka holo holo I kai Holo kane loa waere I nā pua Pua kia ali I moia ka wahine Mao wale kona kino I ka ino Pau I hola ka upoa ka haole I ka moe Yeah, yeah Whoa, whoa,
At the end of 2019, a deadly and contagious virus appears. It spreads quickly, forcing humankind to suspend its actions, causing the entire world to pause.
e hi'iaka e, o oia ke kāula, nāna ke aka o ke kupu. E ho'ouluulu lei nou e hi'iaka, o kāu hea kula kou leo konea a puni ka honua. E ho'oulu I, e ho'oulu a.
Vela vela ho'i kia hi a pele. E vavalo ho'i na leo ku'e. Ku'e I ka malihini kolea. Vavalo. Vavalo ho'i na leo ku'e. E vavalo ho'i. E vavalo ku'e. E ku'e I ka malihini kolea. E ku'e. E ku'e. E ku'oko'aho ke ea o Hawaii. Malu ia mau o Hawaii ne. Ku'oko'aho ke ea o Hawaii. E ku'oko'aho. E ku'oko'aho. I maluhia mau o Hawaii ne. I maluhia mau. I maluhia mau. I mau kamaloha hiko ke o haina hoi nana kupuna. Ke o la moro na hana na hare o Hawaii nui a kea. Kaui mahanoe.
Now do you remember? I maluhia mau o Hawaii nei. I maluhia mau a puni ka honua. Eia I ho ko ukule ana I ha'i ia e o umau mākua. Eia nae. A ole lava ho'okahi leo I loko o u. He pono ia no ka koa pau e kupa'a I ka na'au wau o ko kako po'e kupuna. Me ke aka mai o ke ia o e holo nei. E ku'u mau poki'i. A ohe kupuiki a kāka'ikahi e hiki o lea I ke ulua mā huahua e. Nana hanauna e hiki mai ana e kaulona I nā ala nui a kākou e koho ai I keia manawa. I loko ho'i o nā keiki kāne a me nā kaikamahine pākahi a ki I laua o la'i. Ma laila no, ke aka e hi'i ai. O ko'u hi'i aka no, o kou hi'i aka. O wau, o oe no ia. E ola kou hi'i aka.
Mahalo for joining us for this very special presentation of the 101st Annual Kamehameha School Song Contest. To all of the students, ohana, and staff of Kamehameha, mahalo for continuing to breathe life into this beloved tradition. I mua.
Ai, mahalo nui. Manaolana ua kani olu i ka pepeau I nā leo nahe.
Me ka mahalo pū I ka ho'olohe ana mai I ke koho ho'okani e lua I ke iahiahi. I mau ke aloha aina. Ke aloha no, a hui ho, mālama pono.
A hui ho.
We leave you now as we began, with our traditions as our foundation, the singing of our school song.
And to all of you watching, whomever you call family and wherever you call home, let our songs and stories be a reminder that Aloha Aina comes in many forms, but it is a single kuleana that unites us all. I mau ke Aloha Aina, so that Aloha Aina perseveres.
Aloha.
Well, there you have it, Hawaii. A new chapter has been added to the legacy of this 101-year-old tradition that's become part of the fabric of our Hawaii community. We thank you for joining us for this very special presentation. Please continue to malama yourselves and each other. Aloha aina kākou.